Okay, so yesterday was my first day doing the motorcycle training course yesterday, and I ended the day. It's a full day, where you're helping out, grabbing pylons and things like that, but really you're observing as much as possible just to see how everything's kind of done, and you end up doing this, a couple times. I'm going back in today for day 2. But just so you guys know, man, I am not used, number one, to just standing for 8 hours. That I am not used to doing, without question. I was so sore throughout the day. My back was sore, my feet were sore, and the other thing, if any of you decide that you like down the road, or like maybe I should do this, check with whoever is, the main teacher or instructor or whatever, and just be like, what can I wear for footwear? Because me and the other trainer to be a trainer that were there yesterday, both of us, I don't know if it was we just misunderstood, but we brought I don't know, like our motorcycle boots. And I wore motorcycle boots all day. Now, motorcycle boots can be comfy when you're sitting on a bike and you're standing on occasion, but motorcycle boots are not comfortable when you're standing in them for 8 and 9 hours. So today not wearing them. I brought them. They're here in the car, but they're here in the car. But I'm hoping that they'll possibly stay in the car, because they had said that they allow like the instructors or trainers or whatever to wear like hiking boots or anything that's kind of up around the ankle and stuff like that. So that's what's happening today. Comfier shoes. But I realized this morning when I went to put my shoes on that my feet seemed to be a little bit bigger than they were yesterday. So they're a little swollen today. So we'll see how they do. See how my back holds out. First full like 8 hour standing day in probably, I don't know, about a year and a half. Not just out doing stuff, but actually like kind of working and just standing. Standing and walking around is a little bit different than just kind of standing and watching. So I'm gonna let you guys know how I feel after the end of today, because I have a feeling that I'll be pretty happy to go home and relax. I ended up just sitting in the tub last night. I was like, I'm so sore. All right, I'm on my way in. It's currently 6:40 in the morning, and I have about a 45-minute drive in total. So I've got, I don't know, 30 something minutes left of my drive. So it begins again today. All right, guys. So I'm heading home. It's the end of the weekend, and my first course. Just kind of observing. Get to do a little bit of like just moving pylons and setting up pylons and things like that. But I have to say, positively, everybody I worked with was super nice, which was great. It's also really cool to see the progress of people that come into a course that can't or have no ability to ride a motorcycle, have never been on a motorcycle, and how much improvement it is over 2 days. It's pretty impressive. And what's also really cool was the people that were there, even some that were a little older, we're all there with the right mindset about trying to be safe and trying to learn and make sure, because you don't just take a course like just to get your license so that you can go out and be a hooligan. Nope. So it was pretty cool. Now the downside, of course, is my feet hurt really bad and my back hurts really bad. So things to keep in mind. Plus the two days back and forth into the city probably cost me about $40 to $50 in fuel. So you have to keep that in mind too. All right, well, that's it for today. We'll see you next time something interesting happens. Oh, It's the little things as you get older. You're just like, you need like days and days and days to recover. At least that's how I feel. Maybe I don't know. So today's Monday, the 9th. It's lovely outside. And I was thinking maybe I'd go for a little bit of a ride today, but my feet are still killing me. Again, I changed my shoes yesterday for the motorcycle training course to something a little bit more comfortable, but I think they were just so sore from the day before that there was nothing that I was going to put on them, especially with just 8-9 hours of standing, that was going to salvage them. And I think I might need a day or two just for my feet to decide to kind of like just get back to some kind of normalcy. I do have a chiropractor appointment. Yeah, chiropractor appointment in 23 minutes. So I'm gonna head there and see if they can just do some back popping, because I find you're trying to stand tall, and then you're like, oh, that hurts, and you end up slouching a bit, and you're like, oh, that hurts, and then you sit and you can't get comfy, and nothing's working. So maybe today they'll just be like pop, 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 pop. That's where I'm going. So I'm gonna go sit out on the deck. I'm gonna go sit out on the deck today. Yep, because it's 18 degrees. 18 degrees out today, and I want to get some sun. Yeah, I think that's fair. So based on the thumbnail, actually, before we talk that, I'm gonna set up my my lounger. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna say it. I love this little lounger thing. I do. I love this little lounger. It's just you just get on it and you're like, oh, that's good stuff. Anyways, maybe I'll sit up for this. Anyways, the thumbnail, the screen that you clicked on was talking about me thinking about selling my motorcycle. And you're probably wondering, but you're just doing your motorcycle trainer course thing. What are you doing selling your motorcycle? Are you going to stop motorcycle riding? No, that's not it. So I bought my Versus. It's 2 and a bit years ago, 2.5. It was like October, I think it was, of 2018 or 2019 maybe, to October of 2019, I think it was. So 2.5 years ago. And I bought it because where we lived at the time, the majority of the riding I was doing was kind of in the city and commuting and just kind of around the city, never really that long rides and stuff like that. And I wanted something smaller. But moving here, where we live now, as much as I like riding it, I do, if I have to go into the city, especially, or if I want to go out to Digby, or if I want to go for longer rides. And the big thing that I find here is that going for longer rides is actually something that I'm kind of even more so interested in doing now that I'm in this area. And if I want to ride my motorcycle into Halifax, that's a 45-minute to an hour drive, depending on where I go, each way. So if I'm going to be going in for to do a motorcycle training course, for instance, I have to leave at like 6:30 in the morning, and then you are standing all day and working all day, and then you have to drive home for an hour. And I don't know if the Versus, for me, based on, for one, my size, is the most comfortable ride for that. I think I would like something a little more loungy, So I've been looking at a couple cruisers, and I don't necessarily know if I want to sell my Versus to get money for it or from it to put towards like a cruiser again. It's so funny. I was always like, oh, I'll go to a cruiser when I'm older, but am older. I'll admit it, and just the scenario that I'm in right now, I think a cruiser, for the most part, just makes more sense. And Mary and I have both contemplated either getting a 4-wheeler or possibly some like little inexpensive dirt bikes, something for if we want to go trail riding. Because the one thing that I noticed when I took the Versus on that little dirt bike course is that it's okay, but it's not what I would want to use for that. So maybe having a touring / cruiser bike for riding around is good, and then get either, like I said, a 4-wheeler, a quad, or a side-by-side, or some dirt bikes would be better for those days that we want to go out and play in the mud and the dirt and stuff like that. I just don't know. What are your thoughts? Leave them down below. I'm trying to figure it out. I gotta get it out there soon, because I can't dilly daddle around with this. If I want to sell the bike, I should do it so I can get some decent money for it. And it doesn't have a lot of kilometers on it, my bike. But my bike's only got 4,500 kilometers on it. That's not much at all. So, comments, leave them down there. I'm gonna go rest because I can. It's bright outside, so bright outside. Yep, neighbors are out doing their lawn maintenance stuff. Mary's been out the last few days doing the same stuff. I've got cold coffee. It's not supposed to be cold coffee, but I was editing this morning and totally forgot I had it, so now it's cold coffee. And it's a little windy out. Not windy, but windy enough. Yeah, whatever. So, back to good weight loss week. Yep. So, Mary went down, I think she said 1.8 pounds. I'll put the little chart up, 1.8 pounds. So, it's good to finally see it start to come down. And I went down like 6 point, I gotta remember, 6.2 or 6.4 or something like that. Which again, good, super good. I'm wondering, I've been eating really well this week, just really trying to make sure that I'm eating the right kind of foods and making sure that, I'm getting lots of water. I'm taking my multivitamins, trying to get outside a little bit, even if it's just get outside in the sun. And I think because I did the motorcycle training course, it was just 2 days of standing and walking, so that's sounds funny, but it's the most physical activity I've done for 8 hours at a shot, twice. My body was it literally took 2 days to recover, 2 or 3 days before my feet stopped just being sore. So yeah, and I got this weird blistery thing on my big toe, the side. I've always had issues with the side of my feet because my feet are fairly wide. So I think my motorcycle boots I've always found comfortable, but usually you're not standing, right? You're usually sitting, and they're just there to protect you in case of a fall, so if they're a little snug when you're sitting, who cares? But I wore them on day one of the motorcycle course because I thought I had to. Same with the other guy that was doing the same thing as I was, and not comfortable for 8 or 9 hours of standing and walking. No. Oh, that's nice. This guy's got a trike. Take a look. That's pretty sweet. You know what I was looking at? And again, you guys have seen me talking about selling my bike, which is right there. It's in good shape. I'm just saying. Anybody interested? I think I might put it up for about 8.
I looked at what they're going for, like now, the new ones. Looking at about 10.5 for I think the same model. Facilis for 8, and it's got all the accessories on it. Not that I know you put accessories on it and people are like, I'm not paying for it because whatever. I'm dropping it like $2,000, and it only got 4,500 kilometers on it, so I think that's pretty decent. I've been looking at the Rikers. Not that I would buy that right away, but I think it would be cool as like a secondary vehicle. So like if we had like something like the motorcycles and then like a Riker. The Can-Am Riker. It'd be cool if they, in like a couple years, because you could get like the Riker Rally Edition, because then it's like really set up for gravel, right, and stuff like that. I think that'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, I've been watching videos on it. They look like so much fun, you know. And my concern now, here's my concern. You know, with gas prices going up, I think they went up last night again, like 7 cents a liter or something like that. Here in Nova Scotia, gas prices go up on Fridays, Thursday night, Friday morning. That's what it seems to do. I think so. And yeah, that puts us like at $1.96 or $1.97, $1.97 a liter. Oh. So you keep thinking, well, you know, bigger bikes, things like that. It's just, it costs so much to run them, you know, so much more, because it used to be like, I'll use my Versus. Big reason that I wouldn't actually got it. It was like, it gets 50 miles per gallon. Like, that's pretty good. If I go to a cruiser bike, I'm not going to get that. I might get mid high 30s, maybe 40, maybe, depending on how you baby the throttle. So many things in my head. But I think if I'm going to stick with motorcycles, I need something that's just a little more comfy for a long ride, because I want to be able to do long rides, especially now that we live really far from everybody. Like, even if I want to join somebody for a ride, I sort of joined this like motorcycle riding group here in Nova Scotia. It's just like a meetup group. But they always leave out of Halifax. So they leave out of Halifax, which means I got a 45-minute to an hour ride to get there before they start their ride. So, you know, if they're like, oh, we're going for a 6-hour ride, well, it's an 8-hour ride for me, unless you're coming up to this area. So, comments, leave them down below. Let me know what you ride. Let me know what your thoughts are. Anybody here also ride a Versus? What did you do to make it more comfortable? Because I don't know. All right, guys, I'm out. Good weight loss this week. It puts me at 31 pounds. 31 pounds I've lost since January 1st. Win for me.